he was trained by Lomachenko's father, and I just find it interesting that both of them kind of have their backgrounds with Muhammad Ali. As we said earlier, he is also a well decorated amateur fighter. So his record is 335 wins and 15 losses. He secured gold in the 2011 World Championships, the 2012 London Olympics, and the 2008 European Championships as well. So that's 3 gold medals. Of course, only one truly matters worldwide in the world of boxing, which is the Olympic medals. I don't know. Have you watched any of Usyk's early on stuff? I did actually remember one that I did watch. It was when he was in the Olympic uh
Like
in the Olympics.
of his
I think
amateur
it was
fight.
his bronze. Yeah, I think it was like if you lost, you got the bronze medal match.
I did watch some of Usyk's amateur fights. I watched a couple. Fun fact: he fought Artur Beterbiev, light heavyweight champ, twice in the amateurs.
I did hear
Beat him
about
twice.
that. Yep.
He also fought Joe Joyce. Not sure if you're familiar with that name. Juggernaut.
I think I have heard that.
He was like a hot contender for a little minute. He's like the exact opposite of Usyk, like big, strong, and like but like so slow. Like I saw someone say he punches like I do in my dreams, but he's real
Oh,
powerful though. And he
okay.
can take a push. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I
it's
have
interesting.
seen this guy. Okay, I do know Joe
Yeah.
Joyce. Okay.
But yeah, uh, in comparing their amateur careers, I mean, Usyk, like, damn, I mean, he fought like twice as long as Holyfield, roughly, as an amateur, correct?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, I mean, because this is going from on his back, right? It goes from 2005 to 2013. Um, so I do think in that aspect, it's a little hard to compare their amateur careers.
hmm
Um, I mean, he has multiple gold medals. Holyfield has the hypothetical. Maybe he could have had a
Yeah.
gold medal.
I mean, if you really want to get technical, one got disqualified.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? What does that mean for you?
I mean, one fought with honor, one didn't. No, I'm playing.
Oh,
I'm
so
playing.
that's the Usyk advocate in you speaking?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. I mean, we'll definitely get into honor
Yeah,
and,
honor.
and
Yeah.
and what's considered legal in boxing today.
Sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
um, I will say, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think Usyk is the more accomplished amateur. Do you think that that kind of Soviet style just lends itself to amateur boxing really well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of a. If you look at him, Usyk is like an amateur style that went pro,
Mhm.
and Holyfield was a pro style that went amateur. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, that
Like,
makes a lot of sense. He did, like I said, he kinda had that pro style, like, from day one. It was
yeah.
interesting.
hmm
Yeah.
So I would, because I mean, from training amateurs going to like multiple events now, like you don't see people inside fighting, at least unless it's like sloppy and panic. If you see someone inside fighting and they know what they're doing, they're probably going to win that match because there's just no way. Most people train for outside fighting or they're like panicky. I mean, even the guys that you see with like, 20, 30 matches are still not fighting inside like that. I mean, maybe if you're like in the hundreds like these guys are, you might start being like, I can inside fight here, but you know,
I will say while he could inside fight, he was very mobile as well. Like, one thing that I think he kinda gets lost in his heavyweight career is that he did have good foot speed, he was mobile, he could, play the long range game and kinda
mhm,
bounce on his toes and hit you with that kind of boxer puncher style as well. Um,
yeah,
I do think me and you haven't watched enough like of their amateur fights to really say who was better in the amateurs. But I mean, career wise, um, I think Usyk probably takes the edge for sure. But
Hmm.
I mean, who knows if Holyfield would have fought um, for the amateurs as long as Usyk? I'm not sure if like what the percentage is if you want to do the math on it.
Sure. Let's hit it real
Yeah.
quick.
Okay.
So 335 divided by what did I say? 15 losses.
Well, shit. I mean, in that case, Holyfield was 160 and 14, so he would have had to win like what, like 170 fights straight?
Yeah, because so he
Yeah,
has a. I think I did that math wrong. I definitely did. That's 350, so 15 divided by 350. So that's a 4% loss rate versus what's 14. How many fights did Holyfield have? Wins?
160 and 14.
160. So 174 fights in total. So now this is not a bad percentage, an 8% loss rate, but that is double U6.
Mhm, mhm.
So
And I mean, we don't know too much about their competition. I mean, it'd be really hard to break it down over hundreds of amateur fights.
yeah.
So that could make a slight difference, but I mean, it definitely looks like Usyk fought quality competition if you got like
Yeah,
arcade.
I mean, I also think he ran into uh I don't think he fought Joshua, but I think he fought people that were fighting around Joshua, if I remember correctly. Let
Like
me
sparring
see.
or training with them?
I think in one of their amateur things. Let me fact check that. You know, I'm a Joshua fan, some may say. Some others may say I'm a hater, but
A Joshua fan? Who said that?
me about 10 years ago,
Oh, okay. They went in a coma circa
2012.
2018.
Wait, what?
What's up?
Oh, so that's where it was. Joshua won the super heavyweight gold medal of the same year Usyk won the gold medal for heavyweight. Both of them in 2012.
Mm,
Hmm.
that's interesting. And I wonder. I mean, I'd imagine no one would think they would ever cross paths at that point.
Right. Well, I'm gonna be honest, people that are like heavyweights in like amateur boxing are usually just heavyweights that actually ran.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, 'cause yeah,
Did
you know what
the road work?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, for real. I mean, Joshua is a staggering like six. I mean, he even at his leanest, he's a super heavyweight. Like, and it's not hard to be a super heavyweight. You can be like I think 205 and above, and you're a super heavyweight in boxing amateurs. Versus heavyweight is like all the weight classes are like shifted down like one in amateurs. It's a little strange. Um, So, but yeah, interesting fact there. Yeah, it's hard to say with amateurs who would win. Like we said, Usyk is more decorated, but I am curious because Holyfield did have that pro style. If they went head to head at that moment, what would have happened?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they definitely. It's. I don't know if like stylistically they were influenced by Ali necessarily, or did they just see him as like an inspiration for why they
I
got
think
into
it was.
boxing?
Yeah, I think it was just like an inspiration. So apparently, the guy had said like you can be as great as Ali, not you can
Mhm.
fight as like Ali, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, and I think, do I think he reached that stardom of Ali? That could be debated. I mean, when you think of the belt, the WBC belt, I know I see Ali, I know I see Mike Tyson, I'll see Holyfield on the other two. I don't remember the other two guys, but you know.
Um. Fuck. I lost my
But
train
I
of
mean,
thought.
also same with Usyk, and
Mhm.
Usyk's doing his thing. which we'll get into that with the pro careers in a second. But
Yeah. So you want to start with Holyfield's pro career? Can I get into a little
yeah,
bit?
hit me with some Holyfield touch up.
Okay, okay, I got you, Shorty. So Holyfield began his pro career in 1984. Fuck, how old was he? At the age of 22. He started off at cruiserweight, as we discussed. He was light heavyweight in the amateurs. When he begins his pro career, the amateur light heavyweight limit is 175. When he begins his pro career, he weighs 176 for his first fight. And then you see over the course of his cruiserweight career, by the time he ends in April 1988, he did reach the limit, which back then was 190 pounds. Now,
Mm,
since we're talking about two of the greatest cruiserweights ever, I do want to note that the cruiserweight division was only created in 1979, which was a few years before Holyfield made his pro debut.
mm-hmm.
It didn't have any ratings in the Ring magazine until like 1982. Didn't have like his first champion until like around that time as well. So it was an extremely new division by the time Holyfield arrived. Um, it's funny. You remember from Mike Tyson, he became champ within like literally like a little over a year.
Yeah.
Holyfield, he got his, like I said, he started in 1984 November. He got his first title shot in July of 1986.
Mm,
So like
okay.
barely a year and a half ish, or a little over.
Okay.
Um, and that was also the last time he went the distance at cruiserweight. He had a couple of decisions, 6 round, 8 rounds. Uh, he did face some like decently experienced opponents. Funny, he fought a guy named Anthony Davis. Just thought that was funny. Um, your boy Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Uh, until he fought. I always jack this guy's name up, so I'm so sorry. Dwight Muhammad Kawhi, Cowie. I've heard it both, so I'm not sure. Um, this dude is like 5'5" at cruiserweight. That was the guy I sent you the clip. Holyfield like threw like 10 hooks in a row, and he rolled that shit like 10 times.
Yeah. Bro, didn't
That
even have to duck that hard either.
Yeah, yeah, he was smooth with it. He was smooth with it.
Yeah.
That was definitely Holyfield's toughest fight in the early stages of his career. It went 15 rounds. He won a split decision. I personally had him ahead by like 5 rounds. But but it was a very tough fight, and I think it was also like hot as hell in that ring, and you could tell them boys was exhausted by the end. One of the few, one of the last 15 round fights as well, if I recall right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, how much have you seen of like early career Holyfield, if any?
Honestly, not a lot. Like, those YouTube, where they, like board films, documentaries, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah. Joshua, yeah.
Seen that. Yeah, yeah. I've
Okay.
seen that of like his cruiserweight.
Um, I will say, early on in his career, we'll talk about it more when we get to heavyweight. But I was telling you, I do think he is significantly more explosive. Like his foot speed and his hand speed were a lot more impressive. I think they were definitely elite, like at cruiserweight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also his power was more of a factor at cruiserweight. You saw him get a lot more knockouts. He just looked like his punches did more damage. And you also see the work rate is significantly higher than it would be in heavyweight. Um,
Okay.
I do think after that fight with Cowie, he that's when he kind of entered his peak for me. That is
Mm,
the best we get of Holyfield from December 1986 up until April 1988, which was his last fight at cruiserweight, where he became undisputed cruiserweight champion. So I mean, he became undisputed at cruiserweight and then immediately moved on. which seems
Okay.
like historically is kind of how it goes. Well, no
Okay.
one else becomes undisputed, but guys tend to move on from the division.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's fair.
Also, two of the guys he beat for undisputed were Puerto Ricans, so I'm not a fan of that.
All right. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Uh, but yeah, after he becomes undisputed, 1988, he would go on to immediately moved up to heavyweight, and I want to pull this up. His weight when he started out at heavyweight, he weighed 202 pounds, and you see it consistently. He actually didn't really weigh that much more than that. Um, like he get up to like 212 ish, 215 ish
Mhm.
over the like next decade or so. The heaviest Holyfield ever weighed at heavyweight was 226 pounds.
Mm,
Now he is 6'2". He's got about 78-inch reach. Historically, that's not that bad. But
right.
if you compare him to like Ali, Ken Norton, like that era past, that's not bad. But go ahead. What
And
you got something
you
to say?
said he started around 176 as his pro, right?
Yeah. And then over the next year or two, he climbed up to 190,
Okay.
which was the cruiserweight limit at the time.
Yeah. And then he went obviously to like the 200 something, 226 max, right?
But
And
220, like 220s was really like late in his career, like in his 40s. So like
oh,
for
when
most of his
he's
prime, he's like a little over 210.
okay.
I
Hmm.
mean, yeah,
Okay. Well, dang.
yeah.
You
But what's up? What's up?
you want to hit us with the heavyweight career as well?
Of course I can. Um, my fault, twin. So
You good. Hit us with the
yeah,
highlights.
after the after he turns heavyweight, he kind of spends the next several years kind of building his profile as a heavyweight, trying to get that title shot with Mike Tyson, of course. Now we discussed this before. Want to bring it up. Um, so Mike Tyson and Holyfield were actually supposed to first fight on June 18th, 1990. Last time we talked about it, and we were like, what if they fought like a year earlier or something, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But it's like realistically, they could have fought in the middle of their primes,
they could have. Yeah.
at their actual primes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, they were supposed to first fight in on June 1990, but of course, Mike Tyson was upset by that guy that you're aware of, that you know,
Yeah.
Buster Douglas. And of course, after he lost to Douglas, Holyfield would go on to fight Buster Douglas, and he would become undisputed heavyweight champion off of that. Now, it is worth noting the Buster Douglas that showed up to fight Holyfield was not quite the Buster Douglas we saw against Tyson.
Yeah.
I believe the street said something along the lines of he looked like he ate another Buster Douglas.
Goodness. Well, yeah, he got that Mike Tyson money. He said it's time for a buffet after buffet.
Yeah, so he was not prepared. Holyfield cooked him. Honestly, like an incredibly clean knockout from him. I believe he kind of stepped in. He kind of fainted with the jab, and then Buster came back with a counter, but Holyfield stepped back perfectly. Boom! Right hand over the top, dropped him clean, and that's how he became undisputed heavyweight champion. But it wouldn't last too long. I'm sorry, just to go back to it a second. Like I said, he beat Douglas, and then he was supposed to defend against Tyson in November, but then he suffered a rib injury, and then they rescheduled the fight again. They actually were still gonna have the fight. It was extremely controversial. Um, but then this nigga got sent to prison. So,
As as it goes,
so I
sometimes.
know this man Holyfield was pissed. He probably wanted that Mike Tyson money.
Right. He's like, I saw
He's
how
like, "Get
fat
your ass
he
dropped."
got. And I can't get fat off of that. I got 8 siblings to feed, bruh. Come on.
And then he had like didn't he have like 10 children too?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're all like named like Evan or Evander or
yeah.
Evan or some
Or
shit.
Evan Field, something like that.
We'll get into Evan Fields later. um, but this motherfucker.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry.
All right. I don't want to. I don't want to meander along here, but he would defend it several times. I do remember he did get criticized for who he defended his titles against. He defended him against George Foreman, Burt Cooper, and Larry Holmes. George Foreman and Larry Holmes were both in their 40s, kind of making a comeback. Foreman did hit the hell out of Holyfield. I think I have a quote from him about it. No, I don't. My fault. But I'm pretty sure he did mention that Foreman probably hit him the hardest of anyone. Which tracks from what we know about Foreman. But he
Yeah.
did win a clean decision over him. Burt Cooper was just not like a super high ranked guy. And he actually kind of gave Holyfield a bit of problems. His fight with Larry Holmes is actually very interesting. I actually scored it a draw, funny enough.
Really?
Yeah, I actually did. It's not a popular opinion. Looking at the I'm sorry if I keep scooting in trying to read my shit.
No, you
Um,
good.
the
You're
the
a little
fans
blind.
the fans had it 118, 112. So clearly I'm on my own on this one. But I'm also a known Larry Holmes dick rider. So I'll just chalk it up to me being biased. Um, and then after this, he would fight with Riddick Bowe. Now I know you don't know much about Bowe, um, but shortly after Mike retired, like Riddick Bowe was considered the best heavyweight, like up
Hmm.
until like the 90s. Like among Holyfield and Lennox, he was considered the best.
Okay.
Um, and he did beat Holyfield. I have the fight on in the background. I mean, Riddick Bowe wins. I think it's an extremely close fight personally. I think I also scored this one a draw, but it seems the fans have Riddick Bowe winning 9 rounds to 3.
Mm.
Um, bruh, this fight is so good. Like it's just it's a war. Like they're going at it, they're slugging, but it's also like it's extremely technical, like smart boxing.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I love this fight to death. I'd recommend it to anyone, like hardcore casual boxing fans. Unfortunately, Holyfield did lose. Um, but he would rematch Bo a year later, and he would win. A closer decision, I believe. Let me see what the second one was. Just be sure. Yeah, it was like 7 rounds to 5. So very narrow.
Mm.
And also, I mean, it's possible Riddick Bowe, he has been criticized for, not being disciplined and staying dedicated. It's certainly possible that second fight he wasn't as locked in, for sure.
Wasn't
Go ahead.
wasn't Holyfield's professional uh career about 30 years? Or not 30, but like 20 something? Like, cause he fought well into his 40s, right? He was 43, 44 when he retired? Or was it
He was
later?
actually 51 when he retired, I think. Because he retired in like 2014, but his last fight was 2011. So 48.
Okay.
Yeah, so he fought from 22 to 48, 1984 to 2011. Why?
26 years.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. We've been
I
asking
mean,
this. What's up? What you think? What's your theory?
they say heavyweights have the longest lasting like careers. So I think it was said like the average now times have changed a little bit obviously because of like exercise science and people getting healthier like Canelo, his age, especially in his weight class, is much older than what
Mhm.
used to be like thought of. Like most people in those weight classes would retire at like 32. They're like, he's past 30, he's washed now. You know what I'm saying? But then heavyweights, I mean, are walking around in their 40s, like rocking each other still. So that's just something to be noted too.
Yeah, that is fair. But I feel like Holyfield is a heavyweight that I would expect to fall off quicker than that, and he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. He
Because
did. He did overstay his welcome a bit. Do you feel that way?
he is. I mean, I do see him as like I see him as like a rapper that was like had a really nice prime. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like early 2000s he was dropping classics, but
Yeah.
then like he's still making music in like 2020, and like each album is worse than the last. So
Mm,
like it gets to a point where it's like, damn, it's been like years and years and years since we've seen the best of you.
yeah. So you're saying like Holyfield is Eminem? You're like, yeah.
You
You know
said
what?
you said it.
Rehab was great. Relapse was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Recovery. Everyone heard "Love the Way You Lie" on the radio for about 15 years. You know, but
Favorite song? What's your favorite Eminem song?
I mean, it's up there for the peoples for sure. I feel like
Yeah. So what's your favorite Eminem then?
favorite Eminem song.
Right. I was listening to My Name Is the other day, and I actually still thought that shit was pretty funny.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beau-
Yeah. So
oh,
Holyfield
that's the song.
is boxing's Eminem. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's the song though. Beautiful by
Oh,
Eminem.
okay. I thought you were saying what I said was. Oh, I do kind of want to
You're
hop
good.
around a little bit. I will say, so for me, Holyfield is no longer like a competent world title level fighter after 2002.
Okay. So,
Um, what's
of
up?
course, we're doing this just as a reminder to anybody that ends up watching. We are doing this based off of like peak
Yeah,
times. So, which it's kind of hard because we're doing peak times of like heavyweight fighters, but we'll get into this later, but it seemed like their peak times were a little bit in their cruiserweight division. So, but we'll get into that further.
yeah, for sure. It's really hard to work around with these two. It'd be way easier if they were just heavyweights the whole time.
But that's why
Um,
we did it. They have similar backgrounds. Exactly.
right. So at least it's easier to compare them because they both have done
Mhm.
similar things.
Yeah.
But I remember I told you that I thought Holyfield's longevity, or I was underestimating it.
Hmm.
I was like half right and half wrong because, like I said, he started in 1984. So if we're going up until like 2000, then yeah, his career looks pretty good. I think I had it. If he retired like after 2001, his career would have been 37-5-2,
Mm.
and those two draws would have been an extra win or loss, so like 38-6. And
Yeah.
that's like a lot more reasonable than 44-10-2. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Bro just went on a fucking 50-50. Get in there. Let's see what happens.
Like, it pisses me off looking at it. It's just such an ugly record. I don't expect, but just the way, like, I don't know, bro.
No, I hear you. I mean, no one wants
Yeah,
to see their favorite, one of their favorite guys go down like that. I mean, imagine if you're a real, like, Holyfield grew up on this man. I mean, God bless. I love the King, Mike Tyson, but this is how how I feel about the Mike fights happening, where I'm like,
okay.
please stop. You're killing my hero. You know what I'm saying? You're killing him. You're killing him.
Stop, he's already dead. Uh, yeah,
But
yeah, that's how I feel, man. Because I did go and watch his older fights. I don't know if you remember. I told you he was almost the oldest heavyweight champion ever at
yeah,
46 years old, beating Foreman's record.
yeah,
But that I'm gonna be honest, that like that would have been purely like off of technicality and like title alone. Because if you
yeah,
watch the fight, it's versus Nikolai Valuev. I don't know if you remember I told you about him. This dude's 7 foot, 300 plus pounds.
yeah. You did tell it. Good
Mhm.
lord.
And in that fight, I've seen his other fights, and he's fought way better than this, but he was just kind of walking towards him, kind of, and Holyfield was just circling the ring the whole time, and then he would throw like one or two flurries and win rounds that way. But
Good lord.
across the board, fans, media, analysts, everyone says thinks he won. But he did not get the decision somehow.
Okay.
Um, he also fought for a world title several other times, 2000s. Two southpaws he lost to, funny enough. One was Sultan Ibragimov, who is a shorter, stockier southpaw. He pretty much cooked him. Kind of more of a pressure fighter, I believe. And then there's Chris Bird, who's also a southpaw, but he actually is a middleweight. Um, he
Mm.
fought at welterweight in the amateurs, and then fought at heavyweight in the pros.
How how tall is Holyfield?
He's six
He's
foot two.
6'2". Oh, I thought he was like 6 on the dot. I don't know why. I think it's because the way he like kind of like hunches a bit like this when he boxes. Maybe it just makes him look shorter to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say like more like the style analysis a bit, but I would say like Holyfield, like two weaknesses I kind of see in this game. Like for one, when he uh when he's on the outside, you do see him kind of stand up and put his chin up above his gloves, and especially when he's bouncing on his toes, you kind of see him poke that chin up even more. But
Mm,
conversely, when he's on the inside, he does hunch over and lean forward, and it can get him caught with like hooks and uppercuts while he's kind of like leaning over. Um, but Chris Bird, he just kind of styled on him. I'm not gonna lie. You definitely see the lack of speed and work rate and aggression that Holyfield used to have. That point on where it's just not
yeah,
not yeah yeah. We can kind of, I don't want to say just toss aside the 2000s, but yeah, toss it aside basically.
toss it aside, kick it.
I mean, it's there. You know what I mean? But I don't think it defines him as a fighter
Okay.
for
You
sure.
don't think it's a part of that like prime point, right?
Because I mean, he already has like a decade plus of fighting at a high level. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
true.
When you get to that point.
Okay.
I mean, we already teased it. He did fight Mike Tyson twice, 1996,
Mm-hmm.
97. The first fight was a banger. It was a banger. They were definitely going back and forth. And we see kind of the craftiness of Holyfield, and also, well, craftiness to some. Some might not be so generous.
Some
But
might call it a head button.
uh, you definitely see that he's able to frustrate fighters like a Mike Tyson with his
Yeah,
his wrestling, with
he's
his
good at
grappling, his
taunting.
fighting. You said what?
Mhm. He's good
Yeah,
at taunting. Like he knows how to like handle a bully.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holyfield is the ultimate the bully guy for sure.
Right. Hmm.
I mean, because honestly, it's when you go down the names, it is kind of insane. Um, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, yeah, they were both old, but they were cooking everyone else for the most part.
Yeah.
So, I do think, those aren't, like, bad wins at all. And then Riddick
Mm.
Bowe 3 times, Lennox Lewis twice, Mike Tyson twice, like,
Yeah. He
relative
actually was hitting heavy bangers.
yeah. Like, he was begging for CTE with
Yeah,
this
he
lineup.
was. He was. How's this man still talking?
Honestly, it's a miracle that he's, like, coherent.
Right.
Um, I don't know what his dome is made of.
I need to know what his diet is or something. What's his nutrition?
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean,
That's
Alabama and Atlanta, that man's eating fucking cornbread, bro. That man's eating some Southern cooking. I mean, shit.
I do
That
do
man.
briefly, want to talk about a couple things. He does have a no contest. It literally was in 2011. I believe it was a cut that stopped the fight early.
Mm,
Um, so I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, it was in 2011. So whatever. He does have 2 draws. One is against Lennox Lewis, probably one of the worst draws you will ever see. Respectfully, I say that's someone who loves Holyfield, loves watching him fight. I had that fight scored 109 to 119.
Oh wow,
I gave
that's
him 1 round. The
yeah,
fans gave him
that's
2. In the future, I do wanna notate how many fans are voting as well. Just wanna say that a
mhm,
lot.
okay.
But yeah, the judges somehow had it 2 of them had it 7 rounds to 5 for whatever reason. How I don't because if you watch it, it's just Lennox jabbing the hell out of him and blasting him with right hands, and they're wrestling. So I really I don't know. And then funny enough, in the rematch, it was closer. Um, but then the scorecards are more wider in Lennox's favor that time. So, but boxing judges for you.
Right
Um,
at
are
their
you
prime.
familiar with John Ruiz?
I am not.
He's
Are you
like a
gonna make me familiar with them?
no, I don't want to actually. I'm gonna be honest. Like I think Holyfield's fights are pretty entertaining. The Ruiz fights were a little tough to get through.
Dang,
To be honest, because Ruiz is like um kind of like a less exciting version of Holyfield almost.
really?
Yeah, they fought 3 times, and the 3rd time was a draw. But me and the fans had Holyfield winning, 9 rounds to 3 in that fight,
On the
so
draw? On the
huh?
draw fight?
Yeah, on the draw. Because
Mm,
Holyfield hold up, quick. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, so Holyfield won the 1st one, he lost the 2nd one, and then they drew on the 3rd one.
okay,
And and like I said, that was the last time I feel like we saw Holyfield fight at a high level.
okay.
But and it was for a title, so he that would have been a world another world title win in his belt. Um, and then he never won a world title fight or came close again, except for that Valuev fight. um, so yeah, you got 2 draws, but one of them definitely should have been a loss. The other one probably should have been a win for sure. Um, and then he also has the DQ against Mike Tyson. We skipped over that a bit. Um, do I mean
What
do we
disqualification? What
you're right,
disqualification?
you're right. I don't they fought
What
a second time?
I tell you what, you bring up a DQ, we're gonna bring up a DQ. You know?
Um, also, since we're talking about Usyk, last thing I want to say, he did fight Michael Moore twice. Michael Moore is mainly known for losing to George Foreman and when he became the oldest heavyweight champion ever. But he was an established light heavyweight champion before that, and he honestly does have a decent resume at heavyweight. He certainly isn't Usyk. He definitely has a different style. He did give Holyfield problems in their first fight in what was it, 1993, 4, 1994. Holyfield lost a majority decision by like 1 point, 2 points. Um, After the fight, Holyfield was like diagnosed with like heart problems and shit. And then
Mm,
it looked like he was probably gonna retire, but then he, like, got a second opinion or something, and then it was like, "Oh, you don't have serious heart issues?" So I don't know what that was about. I really don't. Okay, hold on, I got the direct. Okay, after his first fight with Michael Moore, he was diagnosed with a heart ailment and announced retirement, but apparently he was misdiagnosed and mistreated, so he was able to come back in 1995. Do with that what you will. Do
yeah,
your own
I
business.
don't. All
Yeah,
right,
I read it multiple times and I'm still confused.
all right.
Also I forgot one last thing for Holyfield that I want to mention. In his second fight with Riddick Bowe, a dude on a paraglider flew into the arena, landed inside the ring, and he was caught. He got beat up by Riddick Bowe's team, and the fight was resumed after a 21-minute delay. He also got hospitalized and arrested, so I'm not sure what bro's plans were necessarily.
Right. You know what's
Um,
even crazier? What if he like was taking an emergency landing? Like the wind had taken him astray.
no, I think he did that shit on purpose.
It probably was, but say
Oh,
he
okay,
did.
my fault.
Say he did, hypothetical.
Yeah, that this shit.
And he just getting mobbed by Riddick Bowe's team. He's like, please, I didn't.
I wish we had the clip because that shit is like so like what the fuck? Like you'll never see that shit ever again. Like how?
Right.
When? But I mean that also like it is something to think about with their fight because I mean the 21-minute delay definitely changes things. Holyfield
Yeah,
did end
you
up.
can cool down. Like, yeah. Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean Holyfield, his career is all over the place, man. Let's talk about Usyk and then try to compare these motherfuckers.
Okay, I got you.
Okay,
All right. So, since we're done talking about Evan Fields, let's go to Alexander or Oleksander Usyk.
Usyk.
Usyk,
All right, I ain't
the
gonna make that.
man, the man with the drip, the man with the amazing haircuts. So the man washing out the heavyweight division currently. Oh man. So Usyk kind of similar thing to Holyfield. You see a high percentage of knockout rates in his cruiserweight journey. Now I will say his cruiserweight journey is not like Holyfield starting at 176. Usyk is actually on day of fights weighing around 200 pounds. So his cruiserweight division, he is literally on the line of heavyweight and cruiserweight every single time. I think the lightest he went was 198 pounds.
See, that's another thing that makes it hard, like comparing them. I forgot to mention the cruiserweight limit went up to 200 pounds in 2003 or four ish.
Mhm.
So if they fought at cruiserweight, what's the limit gonna be? Can Holyfield fight at 200 like just as effectively? Can Usyk even cut to 190? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, continue.
Um, so that is something to be noted with like the difference between the two. Um, then of course, now I will say when they get to the heavyweight division, the heaviest Usyk ever got, which we are comparing them based off of heavyweight, is 120 or 227. So they weighed about the same at their heaviest. And that was his last two fights. Before that, he was around 215, 220. So
Mm.
that's how he's looking for most of them. When we are going now, he's only two, three, four, 8 fights into the heavyweight division. Now, I will say how we kind of said with Holyfield, he fought bangers. He fought like classified people. In our modern day era, Usyk came and took out like the top three heavyweights,
Right.
like just cleared them out.
After a few
Like, yeah, exactly. After a few years, he got a little tune up with Witherspoon, Derek Chisora,
the
um,
beast.
so I mean the he got the now like we said earlier, it goes to decision for most of them, like the knockout. But these are against like champs, you
Mhm.
know. So he gets decision with Chisora. I think what's RTD? That's
Retired in the corner.
retired. Yeah, in the corner. I thought so. Okay, so I was actually looking at that for one of our boxers because we were looking at somebody he was going against their record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
Which I'm
retired.
like, you did that in amateurs. You retired in the corner in the amateurs? Like that's
Right.
interesting. Like
How
but
bad was
I don't know. I didn't, amateurs. It's just hard to get filmed, so you're just like, I guess
Okay.
something happened. Someone got executed.
Yeah,
Um,
Terrence Witherspoon had absolutely nothing for Usyk. I do remember that.
yeah. I mean, they literally called it his heavyweight tune-up fight.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, this is his light work just to get an introduction to the weight change.
To see it
Um,
did give him a little bit more problems though, I feel like.
yeah. Now he did go immediately on to fight our favorite boxer of the era, Anthony Joshua, twice.
Favorite boxer
And
ever.
yeah, favorite boxer ever, Anthony Joshua, twice. Winning both times, first by unanimous and second one by split decision. Then he goes against Daniel Dubois, who did knock out Anthony Joshua, but also got knocked out by Usyk
Twice.
um, twice. First in the ninth, then in the second one in the fifth, which is crazy. That means he's still accelerating his power a little bit, which is something to be noted. Is that um, he is still pretty early in his heavyweight career, but the thing is, he's cleared out the contenders. The only person I would say he could fight next just to prove it is Wilder, which I think they've talked about it briefly, but I don't think
Wilder
Wilder
fight
did it.
before or no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, which speaking of fighting, the Garcia fights tonight.
Right. Right. Is it right now or is it prelims or not?
Probably prelims. It's 10:41. I imagine they're fighting in California. Or where are they fighting? Barrios.
I low key
Yeah, they're fighting in Las Vegas. It is West Coast, so it's probably not
okay.
till like 2 in the morning.
That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, main event walkouts are expected around 11:50 Eastern time. So
Y'all smoking dick.
yeah, literally, y'all crazy thinking I'm gonna watch that shit at 2 in the morning. Um, but that I believe that's something to be noted about Usyk is that I think Holyfield was able to get a bunch of people at the end of his career that he was able to bang with that were like contenders, and Usyk basically came out the gate getting those people, and now I fear his prime is going to pass him because he has no one else to fight to prove he's the unified champ. Because we did discuss this before with his Fury fights, even though they were by decision. Um, as classic Fury tales go, he has a pretty long countdown. Like, dude is getting beat up in every four corners, wobbling, and then the ref counts, and he's like, "Are you okay? Let me see your gloves. How are you doing?" Like, gives him an extra 15 seconds of recovery, which could have easily been time for Usyk to close the distance and end the fight right there. That happens constantly, even in just amateur boxing. These things do matter. Which is another, again, a whole debate that happens with the Wilder fights that we did discuss that before, where two of the three were like, and then one of them was like, this man blatantly does not give a fuck about the count. So,
Like a 15 count.
and bro is 10 seconds off the count. Like, that's insane work. Um,
uh
Highlights of Usyk's career. Um, I did rewatch the Tony Bello fight earlier. I was watching a little bit and then I rewatched a few of the highlights as well. I am surprised by the score that they had for him that Usyk was losing.
on
I mean,
two
he would have lost if we stopped it right there. It was a tie, Usyk losing. It would have been split decision, but Usyk would have lost. And I don't agree.
at all.
I don't at all. I
I
mean,
watched the fight, but I do feel like go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like the fourth or fifth round, Bello kind of gave a little fight back. Like he was hitting his range on point. He was definitely able to hit him hard at the extension of his range. But Usyk like was pulling the Lomachenko out of him. You know what I'm saying? He was easily closing the gap. He was jabbing every second he could to get in there. And even if they didn't land at the end of the day, it helped him close the gap to get closer to Bello, which did end up leading to that knockout. So, and
Yeah,
again, I think, I mean, I know how the things are scored based off of punching power, punches landed, and everything, but there is like one thing I agree with amateur boxing that I think pro boxing doesn't do as well is like the emphasis on ring control and how much that has to deal with scoring. And I think Usyk dominated like the center of the ring really heavy compared to Tony Bello. So
no, I agree with you. I do think he definitely got the better work in. Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised with the scores, especially after looking at the punches stats, where it's like Usyk, I think Usyk outlanded him by like 60 punches or something like that. It's like
yeah,
it's like even if some of them were on the softer, just kind of touching him upside, it's like all of them. It's not all of them. There were like
yeah.
little pity patch. You know what I'm saying? He was like you said, he was nailing him with genuine
Mhm.
shots. He was
And
pressuring.
this is a bigger discussion as well about boxing. If you actually have boxed before, you know those pitter pats can set up a bigger punch. So they
Yeah,
aren't just like taps for fun, they're taps of finding range and figuring out your opponent and figuring out where you can manipulate the fight, you know, and I think that showed a lot more about Usyk's like fight IQ compared to Tony Bello, you know.
yeah.
So
Two things. That I was kind of thinking about. One, Tony Bellew, he's kind of like Cruiser Fury, like stylistically. So just kind of like a long, lanky, kind of outside counter puncher type vibes.
yeah, he definitely has that like, oh, keep my hands down and
Yeah, kind of loose. Yeah.
yeah,
So it was kind of interesting to see, that maybe that kind of like laid the foundation for what he would do against Fury. And also showing he can handle, even if you are, a skilled outside fighter, you can maybe land some solid counters on him. He does have the IQ and the resiliency to push ahead and win the fight.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and number two with Lomachenko and Usyk, like one thing they both do extremely well to build on what you were saying with the pity pats is they are extremely skilled at mixing up the speed, the power, and the intensity and the rhythm of their punches. Because yeah,
Mhm.
like you were saying, like Usyk, he will just kind of touch you up, and then he'll throw a hard punch after you get
Yeah,
used to blocking those softer punches. So
yeah,
he's constantly switching things up. You never know when the real punch is coming with Usyk,
yeah.
which is
Something
real.
stylistic as well I want to note about Usyk is that he's like Southpaw Ukrainian Soviet style. Like
Mhm.
he's very like because he's able to cut the angles well, which what Chenko does. I mean, obviously being trained by his father will do that. Um, he's able to do a combo that is similar to Dmitry Bivol, where he jab, left hook. Well, what would be his right hook? It's jab, lead hook, jab, right? And he did that against Tony Bello as well, and he's able to snap it really quick. I think he also pulled it out on Fury. So, and that goes into being a southpaw is that he's able to go around that orthodox stance really easy. So I think that should be noted slightly for their competition or like in his career is that he's able to kind of combine styles because he's a heavyweight. I mean, he's not going to be fluid like, you know,
Like
Chenko is because he's a bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? Um, how many fights did Holyfield have in the heavyweight division?
in the heavyweight division. I really
Because
hope I wrote this down.
Usyk only has 8.
let's see. God fucking damn it, Ramos. Okay, his cruiserweight record. I fucked up earlier. That's on me. That's on me, guys. His cruiserweight record is 18-0 with 13 knockouts.
Okay, so he basically had like
So that's what 26
yeah.
wins, 10 losses, 2 draws, no contest.
So he's got like almost four times the fight experience at heavyweight compared to Usyk. That I think
Yeah.
that should be kind of noted,
Hmm.
like in the comparison between the two. I mean, of course, like we said, I mean he's a modern day boxer, unlike our comparison with Wilder and Mike last time, is that Wilder we feel like he's kind of out of his prime, where Usyk I feel like he might be in his heavyweight prime. I don't know if he's in like his prime overall, but in the fact of like heavyweight career, I think he's in it right now.
Yeah, I mean that is one thing that's very interesting is Holyfield at this point in his career, 12 years deep into his career, that would have been his second fight with Tyson, which he was still really good by then, but I definitely think he was exiting his prime around that time. And if you want to go by when he actually turned 38, then he definitely was not quite as effective at that point.
Okay.
Um,
So how many
but
years into his heavyweight career? So how many fights did he have from cruiserweight to the second Mike Tyson fight? If you believe that's when his prime ended, maybe that can give us a little glimpse and window into what maybe they'll look like at each other.
his record when that happened, or
Yeah.
when he fought Mike the second time.
Hmm. And then we'll
Uh,
just subtract 18 and we'll know how many fights he had because that was the 18 was the cruiser.
He was 33-3 in the second
30.
Mike fight,
So
with his
what? That's
3 losses being
15.
you said what?
Oh, you said with three losses?
Yeah, his 3 losses being Riddick Bowe twice and Michael Moore once.
So that's 18 fights into his heavyweight career where you would say he's kind of like exiting his prime.
Yeah, because he had, like, a couple more like, the next, like, 4 to 5 years, he still can fight at the world title level, but he's not dominant for sure, and
Mm.
you're seeing him, he's kinda losing decisions or winning really close decisions. So, you definitely don't see knockouts from him like that. Um, I did forget to mention Holyfield has been knocked out only twice. I say only twice because I mean, considering the amount of punishment he takes, he's most men would have been knocked out like 20 separate times fighting the same
Mm.
fights Holyfield did. But he got knocked out once by Riddick Bowe. One of the cleanest right hand cross slip to the outside you will ever seen. Straight up stiff and
Yeah.
Holyfield, like you just don't see that. So that was
Yeah.
impressive from Bowe for sure. And then in 2004 against James Toney, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know what to
You
tell
don't
you.
know about that one.
Holyfield getting knocked out by James Toney just fries my brain. I'm not sure how that works. A middleweight climbing up to heavyweight, just
No,
like Rick.
that's fair.
But to circle back to Usyk though, it is interesting that I feel like this last fight he did look his best at heavyweight against
Yeah.
like he really put it all together and he showed like some real power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like maybe he's adjusting better. I mean, this is kind of the issue, right? Of like we ran into this with Tyson and Wilder, is that like the speed of which a heavyweight nowadays carries their career is not the same as back then. Like, because Usyk pretty much fights once a year.
Yeah.
He's had 8 fights in 6 years. So, you know,
I do want to say like philosophically, like obviously you definitely respect Usyk for coming in and cleaning out the top of the division, but I also think, you know, there's like a part of me that's like, okay, that of course that's impressive. Um, but also like I can't just assume that you're going to beat every other contender because we've
Yeah,
seen time and time again, like guys can still lose to guys that you wouldn't expect. You know,
yeah,
dudes that are less skilled than other guys that they've beat. You know, maybe stylistically they can just kind of give them problems that you wouldn't
yeah.
expect.
You know who would be the ultimate test finder for that?
For Usyk, like currently,
Hmm. Andy Ruiz.
how did I not see it coming?
We'll see what an upset looks like if we can figure it out right there. I'll show you a pissed off and upset.
I would love to watch Andy Ruiz try to chase Usyk around.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't think he could cut angles like that on that man. I think he would just sit there and
Look,
take it.
if Ruiz can't close the distance on Anthony Joshua trying to outside fight, then I'm not. Let's be real.
You're not seeing it on me, so
So
let's wait.
maybe in 2019, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 2018.
You think
Um,
Big Bang Zhang would have a chance?
you said who?
Big Bang Zhang.
Big Bang John? Not currently. Not
I
currently.
mean, I know it's Chong, but he
But
got the
yeah,
name.
the
Just
rhyme.
people
Yeah.
couldn't pronounce it. Yeah, they couldn't pronounce it.
Um Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. In the first fight with Dubois, he knocked him out with a jab, which like is Dubois' chin questionable, but like he's only been knocked out by Usyk.
Yeah. Now he almost got wiped by Joshua, but the fact he was able to compose himself mid knockout and wipe out that stain, potential stain from his record,
This man
the
had the audacity to stick his tongue out while he getting lit.
right.
The
Yeah,
nerve of this nigga, bro.
I know.
Um,
We
do
can talk about the post fight discussion later if you
okay.
really want.
I want to ask you the scorecards for the first Fury fight.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel about that? Because that was a split decision. Do you think there's a argument for Fury
Actually,
winning the fight?
I actually just went over that earlier. Um, for the split decision, I don't think so. I think it's odd that we most of the judges said he lost 4 rounds in a row. It was rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Mm,
And
you disagree
I
with
don't
that?
really agree with that. I mean, I don't I think he lost one or two of those rounds, but I think the potential of Fury winning, I just don't see it. I think stylistically, like Fury does really well at opponents that come straight on and are just trying to like hunt after him. You know what I'm saying? He's a trickster. He knows how to like manipulate people in that way. But when you have a style, pardon me, like Usyk, I mean, he doesn't play with tricks because he cuts angles. He's gonna get to you. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And we saw that in the first fight heavy, and then we saw it in the second fight. Even worse. I mean, we saw the pinball.
The
We saw the
pinball was
pinball.
first fight.
It was the first fight. Hold on, because I actually just looked down at my notes and messed that up.
Okay, okay.
So, but I wanted to be noted in because when I look at my notes for those, the footwork is like the biggest thing that is like Usyk's ability. Like
Mm.
he just maneuvers around so well, even in heavyweight. I mean, and
Super power.
226, you know, in our discussion, I think it's important to note that Holyfield and Usyk ended at the same max weight. Now it was probably harder on Holyfield, but also Usyk's only 6'3".
Yeah, he's about like an inch taller. They do have the same reach.
Yeah. So, um, I think that should be noted is that like if Usyk has the footwork, is known for dropping on the jab, and known for being good at long and close range, it is something to be noted. And
Yeah,
he's used
it's
to fighting dudes with long range. I mean, imagine you put him in with someone with that same range.
well, that's something that's weird about Usyk. I feel like he struggles with smaller guys sometimes.
You think he struggled more in his cruiserweight?
I think the Bradis fight is the biggest one. Bradis is a little. I think he's a little bit shorter. Um,
Mhm.
he's kind of got. I don't want to speak on his style too much because I've really only seen that fight from him. But he kind of came forward with the high guard. Orthodox. He's kind of a bit shorter, stockier than Usyk. He was able to kind of get in the pocket and rip some shots to the body, some like short hooks, and he was having a decent amount of success with that, as far as I can remember. Jarek Chisora, he definitely didn't do enough to win the fight, but he did have some success early on, kind of mauling Usyk, and same thing, just kind of walloping him, touching him up, hitting him to the body. Um, so yeah, I think he might be better at like efficiently applying pressure to taller fighters than he is at stifling some shorter fighters if they're mobile. If they're mobile, want to add that caveat. If you're flat footed, you're not catching. You're not catching him. But if you got some
Yeah,
foot speed to you, you can get up in his grill. You can't make him uncomfortable.
that is fair.
Um, what about the second? So you said the second fight, with Fury. Do you see that as being a closer fight? Because I remember people who said that one was definitely like maybe Fury
Yeah,
could.
so that was the split decision one. So, oh wait, wrong, wrong. So the second one was the unanimous decision one.
Yeah,
Are you
and
sure you
people.
didn't? I don't know if I agree with that. I think Fury was closer. I mean, but also we learned from like the Wilder fight, Fury learns his lessons.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He gets hit hard once. He's like, that shit won't happen again like that. And I think he did watch out for it a lot more. I think he was wary of the footwork of Usyk a lot more. Um, I won't say it was like as dominating as the first Fury fight for Usyk's end, but I'm not going to say like I don't think it deserved any kind of split decision. Which is interesting now looking that the first Fury fight was a split decision.
right.
Someone's smoking crack on that fight.
Yeah,
Someone really is
I
sticking things.
don't. Yeah, I remember we was I mean you, but yeah, when the scorecard for Fury came out, we was like, "What? What are
Yeah,
you
he
did we watch the same shit?"
yeah,
I you
someone said
know,
114 on Fury.
what about 114?
114, 113 on Fury.
Um, I actually kind of disagree with the general sentiment for the second fight. Personally, I thought Usyk was kind of in flow state in that fight. Like, it
You
was
think
kind of
he was
beautiful to
cooking?
watch. You said what?
He was cooking? He was Michelin chef?
Like, he was just so smooth with and fluid. It was almost like choreographed, like the way he was dashing in and out and slipping and parrying and ducking and then coming with his own shots. And he was just doing it in his constant flow, like it was mid work almost. Um,
Mm.
it was very pleasing to watch. The second fight is a banger for sure. I would recommend it to anyone watching for sure. I mean, Fury definitely came with a different. I mean, he came locked in. You see that beard? That's a man who
Yeah,
said, "I don't
yeah.
have time to save."
I think he was yeah, he said I'm not getting knocked today. So here is a hot take for me. I don't
Okay,
like beards in boxing.
okay. You think they shouldn't be
There
allowed?
was there actually was a study that proved there's a 2 or 3% difference in power connection when you have a beard,
Wow.
which can be the difference of a knockout or not a knockout.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very but does it depend on the thickness of the beard or just any kind of beard? Like would mine apply? Because my I feel like
I
mine's
don't remember seeing specifics in the study about that, so that's the only thing I can say.
okay.
Yeah.
He did have the extra protection. It only helped, but so much. Um, well, I mean, I guess it did help a good amount more since people. I don't want to say like my opinion is gospel. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm gonna be like I disagreed, but you know, the general sentiment is
You said
otherwise.
my opinion is gospel. No, that's fair.
What about the second Joshua fight? Because that one was also a split decision. How you feel about that one?
I didn't feel any good type of way about it, if that's what you're asking me.
Okay,
I think Usyk did just the exact same thing.
the same thing.
Like, I think it felt like a pity fight, like if I'm being honest with you. I mean, how did you feel about it? I think Usyk cooked Joshua.
In the second one,
Am I confused?
well, I mean, in the first one is it seems like across the board, people streets had it in like 9 rounds to three, and I do
Mhm.
feel like Joshua just really had a hard time figuring him out. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like in the second fight, he did come in. He came in with a lot more on purpose with attacking the body. He realized I can't just sit here and try to time his head movement and his feints and stuff. I'm gonna get close and I'm gonna throw that right hook to the body, and
Mm.
then I'm gonna rip some combinations to the body as well. And I do think you do see Usyk backing up a bit more. You do see him kind of shelling up, kind of going into survival mode a bit more. I do think Joshua did land some solid shots, to kind of win more rounds. I don't think Joshua did enough to win the fight. I do want to make that clear.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'm glad
but
you at least cleared that up
yeah,
before
I'm
we
sorry. I
you and
just
I
want to say
start
I do think Joshua
having our
came
own
through
minutes.
and had a more effective game plan the second time. But Usyk ultimately showed what he another one of his superpowers. The dude's second wind is ridiculous. Like every time you think like, oh, he's cooked. You know the momentum's against him. He's able to come out the next round and look like he's completely fresh, and then
Right.
take the fight back. By the end of the fight, even though Joshua landed a ton of really solid shots on Usyk, he also landed some really like clean right hands straight to Usyk's shin, and he ate him like pretty well. But
Yeah.
Joshua looked the worst. Looked way worse at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
Because he was able
I
to
wanted
outlast. Go ahead.
I wanted to be noted Joshua ate a lot of straight rights. Like, and they blatantly like hurt him every single time. Like, knock back. Like, he just ate him.
Usyk. I guess we could talk about Usyk's straight his two.
Hmm.
That's just good as hell. I don't know what else
Yeah.
you. I don't know
It's
what you
phenomenal. It's
expect.
phenomenal. It's like a gun. He did wow, and you're like, goodness.
Oh, he Usyk is just so clever at playing the lead hand, lead foot, southpaw or orthodox game, man. And he just lulls you to sleep, and then all of a sudden he's got that lead foot outside and he's lined up the left hand. You know,
Right.
and he's also really good at slipping to the outside from that southpaw orthodox stance. And one thing that he does that's pretty unique is he's got that up jab. You know what I'm talking about?
Where he like goes off to the side and pops it up. What do you
It
mean?
like kinda like, okay, if you're, like, holding your lead hand out like that,
Hmm.
uh, people are just listening, they can't see it. But if you're holding your lead hand out and Usyk is kinda, like, playing the lead hand, like, feinting you up and down, he'll, like, jab up.
Like under and up.
Yeah, under, up, like that.
Okay.
because usually you see like a lot of like southpaw like orthodox. They'll try to get their hand on top of their
Hmm.
lead hand and then shoot over the top. Usyk, he'll do that too, but then he'll also kind of feint you up and that boom go up under your guard, which is kind of
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, it was just kind of like a little interesting thing that he does.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know, man. You kind of you want to start comparing their careers, get into a dream fight scenario. You know what I'm saying?
We can get into a dream fight scenario. I am fine with that.
Do you want to do the dream fight or the career like ranking shit? Career all time ranking.
Well, it's based off of the heavyweight, right? When we're doing the ranking.
Um,
The
I mean, it's based
disappointment
on
when I said
everything. I
it,
mean,
he's like,
it's super
yeah,
boring. You said what?
that sounds like disappointment when I talk about it that way. You're like, yeah, it's something like that.
No, I mean, yeah, more so focus on heavyweight since we're ranking heavyweights all the time. But I personally, I'm not gonna like ignore their cruiserweight career. I'm considering it, but considering they both were undisputed cruiserweights, and I think they both look like elite all time cruiserweights. I mean,
Hmm.
I think it kind of is a wash. I do think Usyk had the better competition for sure because the division was more established, and he actually fought in a pretty strong era for cruiserweight. Funny enough, um, he did the Super Series tournament. He won it. I don't know if you heard of that.
Mm-mm. You're talking about Holyfield?
No, Usyk.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're talking about when he won the Ali Trophy, right?
Yeah, the All
Or
Elite
no?
Trophy. I
Yep.
believe it was Michael Hunter through Murat Gassiev. That he
Mm.
that's how he became undisputed cruiserweight. He also won the All Elite Trophy. And it's one of the few times in boxing we'll see the top fighters forced to fight each other. So that's nice. And
That's
he came out on top of it.
right.
Another thing we want to talk about with Usyk that's really cool. He consistently goes to other dudes' countries to fight them. Um,
That's fair.
yeah, he let's see. He
Well,
go ahead. What's up?
that was until 2016. Well, that was after 2016,
Yeah,
which is when it might be because of rising tensions in his country.
my fault. My fault. Yeah, typical
Because before
American.
that, all of them except one was in Ukraine.
But wouldn't that just be kind of him building his profile as well? You know what I mean? But he
Yeah, it
hasn't
could
fought
be.
in Ukraine in a minute, so right?
Yeah. It was 2016 when he had his it ended that streak and he never fought in Ukraine again.
Damn. So as soon as he started fighting for titles, he is not fighting Ukraine.
Yeah. Not to
Oh,
you know, glaze this man too hard, but
yeah,
he did stop his boxing career briefly to go help out in the war for like
that,
6 or 7 months. So
um,
with
that's pretty bad
Lomachenko,
to be honest.
yeah, Holyfield, yeah, he fighting all these heavy contenders, but Usyk said, "I'm gonna go fight a war." He said, "You want to talk about Hagler? I'm gonna
Right.
show you war."
Or I do think
Yeah, pop up the rankings, man. Pop up. You got the document, right? You
yes.
should be able to screen share and all that if you want to pop it up.
Okay, I got you, Shorty. Let's see. Like to record this computer screen and audio. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got to give them permissions and shit.
Nah, you're good. I know how it goes.
uh, Google may not be able to record the contents of your screen till it's quit. All right, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
All right, I'll just pull it up. and I guess we'll just have to say it out loud.
It won't let
So,
you share?
it will, but I might have to quit and hop off the stream, and I don't wanna deal with that. Like, quit Google Chrome
Oh,
because
that's fair.
I just gave it, like, permissions and shit. Do wanna
Oh,
read
and that ring set shit. Yeah, okay.
let's see. So far, we have Mike Tyson, number 1, then Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, and the legend, Franz Botha.
That's okay.
Um, I will say, so they both were undisputed cruiserweight, they both were undisputed heavyweight. Um, Usyk's been fighting at the world title level for how many years? About since 2016?
hmm
Damn. And then he didn't fight for a world title 2019, 2020, so that's 7 years.
hmm
Um, Holyfield, he fought a world title level from 1986 to 1988, and then 1990 to 2001, basically, where he's
Good.
actually when he's actually winning, because he did fight for world titles like in 2002, 4, 6, 8, but he was not good in those
Yeah.
fights.
His
Um,
wash.
so I mean, you could consider them like fighting for a world title.
Right.
Um, but I mean, you still got a decade of him. You know, the entirety of the '90s, some of the '80s, him fighting at the world title level. So Holyfield has a bit more. He definitely has way more fights.
So
Um,
should we do our mock fight first?
yes.
I just thought about that. I feel like our ranking arguments are gonna occur.
Yeah, I
Should
was
we
like, we're gonna
since
rank them
we
within. We're gonna be
I
like, I
want
don't
us
know who's gonna win.
I want to bring up first some controversies.
Okay. Okay.
So Usyk's number one controversy was a low blow with Daniel Dubois.
Right.
What was Holyfield's number one controversy?
His number one controversy. Can you when
More
he
s-
got his ear bit off by some
no,
guy
that
that we
wasn't his call.
his name,
Okay,
but
alleged controversies, if you will.
allegedly he got his ear bitten off. I don't know. Never seen a dude get his ear bitten off, so I don't know what it looks like, but you can take his
Oh,
word
we
for
are gonna mention a product with a hyphenated name on it,
a non-legal product.
a non-legal
Should
product.
I read it?
Yeah, hit us with it. Hit us
Okay, I'm
with
gonna
it.
read it. All right.
It does affect his career. It did. He wasn't able to fight because of it, right? For 2 years, or was that just for that one fight?
You said was that just for his one fight? No, he actually got banned because he was so bad. I'm not even joking. He lost a unanimous decision, and afterwards they suspended him for poor performance.
I never heard of some shit like that. in my life. I
So
forgot you
okay,
told me.
Holyfield lost to Larry Donald by a lopsided 12-round unanimous decision. It was his third straight defeat. After the fight, the New York State Athletic Commission medically suspended Holyfield for poor performance,
Mm,
and
they
then he
said
had to
that
pass.
CTE is getting you.
Yeah, and after he passed a bunch of tests, they suspended him indefinitely in 2005, but lifted him so he could fight in other states. What kind of shit is that? Okay, but that's not what we're talking about here. All right, get ready for this.
Hit me with it.
On August 29th, 2006, Federal Drug Enforcement Agency officials in Alabama raided a compounding pharmacy called Applied Pharmacy Services. Among the documents seized were records stating that in June 2004, a patient named Evan Fields picked up 3 vials of testosterone and related injection supplies from a doctor in Columbus, Georgia. That same month, Fields received 5 vials of Sizin, a human growth hormone. In summer 2004, according to the documents, Fields underwent treatment for hypogonadism, a condition that results when the sex glands produce little or no hormones. The date of birth, home address, and telephone number listed for Evan Fields in Applied Pharmacy's records were identical to those of Evander Holyfield. When these facts were made public, Holyfield issued a statement that read, in part, I have never taken an illegal or banned performance enhancing drug of any kind. The use of such substances runs counter to everything I believe about sports and my place in the athletic world. And scene.
Has your name.
Evan,
Has your
Evan,
home address. Has your phone number.
he did try it all.
And yeah, used the clever nickname Evan Fields to hide it.
It's me putting my birthday as my password type beat for sure.
Yeah.
Holyfield has never been suspended for taking a banned substance or steroids or anything, but you could take that for what you will. Just saying. Um, but aside from the steroid controversy, let's just assume both guys are completely clean
Yeah. And in their prime.
and in their prime. What do we
Mhm.
think is the prime for both? Heavyweight.
So heavyweight, I think Usyk's there. I mean, I
Right.
think he's in. I think he's like, if he isn't peaking now, it's happening the next fight or two. He's going to be that's top
I
Usyk heavyweight.
which is interesting because he's 38.
It is
Is
interesting.
is where you see a guy peak kind of later in his career, kind of like Lennox Lewis in a sense, maybe.
Hmm. And isn't
Um,
Dubois young?
he is, I believe.
He's 28. That man is getting cleaned twice by Usyk.
After he went on a huge winning streak, and it was like, hey man, maybe this time he could do a little better, and then he actually did worse somehow.
Mhm.
Um,
Got a Louis
Holyfield,
Ortiz.
Holyfield's prime, even though he lost, I do think it's that fight is 1992, his fight with Riddick Bowe.
Hmm.
I mean, but I think extremely highly of Riddick Bowe as well.
Okay.
And I thought the fight was extremely close. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I don't really see it as an indictment on either man's talent. I think there's two of the best fighters at their peak, possibly ever. You know, really clashing and giving it their all and putting
Yeah.
all their skills together. So even though Holyfield didn't win that fight, I do kind of consider that his prime or his peak and kind of the end of his I actually think that's like the end of his peak as well, because I think that's one of them fights where they were going back and forth like so hard, like neither guy's gonna be the same afterwards. You know?
Hmm.
Um, but I think you could also consider, maybe a couple years earlier, like 1990 when he knocks out Buster Douglas. Not the best competition necessarily, but I mean that's not his fault. I mean he wanted to fight Mike Tyson, so we don't
Right.
know what
I mean,
to do. Like I don't know. And I
you
mean
know,
he go ahead.
I did want a random note because I forgot to mention this earlier. You know, him and Mike were supposed to have a third fight, like when all this stuff happened with Mike and Roy Jones, and Mike chose Roy Jones over Evander Holyfield. And so Mike did it to him again. I just want that to. This man went on, bruh. Holyfield went on a slander campaign on Mike for like a year or two. I just wanted to be. This man
I know he
Holyfield
gets
hurt.
so tired of Mike.
I know. And Mike is out here making money off of bit ear as a weed edible about Holyfield. That
He
man
said,
is
"You
so
gonna lose
angry.
you gonna injure your rib, you're gonna go to prison."
Yeah. And now
He's
you're
like,
going to do someone over me? That's what we're doing?
"You're gonna bite my ear off and turn it into an edible."
Yeah,
Allegedly. Um,
allegedly.
but yeah, okay, so we got both the primes. Holyfield weighed how much in that fight? Oh, you bastard, where'd you go? Mike Tyson. That's where you went.
That's where he wanted to go.
Right. Okay, I guess they just don't show the weights anymore. Thanks, Box Rec. Very cool.
It should show
I
the weights. It shows the weights on mine when you pull up his record.
maybe it's just because the screen's too thin.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I mean, we know for the most part, Usyk was the heavier heavyweight, and early '90s, what's that?
Or well, no, that was when Holyfield got older, right? That you said he was 22, 26,
Yeah,
226
it wasn't until
pounds.
like the end of his career where he's really like 220s. But for the bulk of his
Okay.
prime, he's like barely over the heavyweight limit,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
like 212, like at most usually 212,
Mm,
215.
okay.
But so Usyk does got more pounds on him. He does got like an inch of height. They both got the same reach though. Um, so I guess we can kind of get into what we thinking, man. So let's just come out and say it. Who we think gonna win?
So let's say who we think is going to win, and
Okay,
then after we both answer, we can go to why.
okay,
So I think Usyk's going to win.
okay. How? How? Like how much?
It's going to be by decision.
Okay.
I think it's going to be similar, possibly, to that Joshua and Tyson Fury split decision, possibly. Holyfield is known as a good inside fighter. I think he will hit Usyk hard, but I don't think Usyk will have a problem adjusting his style to beat Holyfield by points.
Um, I do now. I do want to preface. I don't feel great about it, but I do think Holyfield can and will win. Like as you were saying, I do think. Why are you looking devious? Are you about to shit on me? Is that what you saying? You
Why?
said
No,
at the
I ain't
beginning
gonna. I
or
ain't
whatever
gonna say
argument you about to
this.
get into.
This is a game of respect. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna.
Um, okay, personally, I think no matter what, the fight's gonna be a banger. I don't think either guy is just gonna lie
Oh
down
yeah,
and
these
lose.
aren't pushovers. Yeah. No.
Um, I do think it's possible that Usyk really gives problems, Holyfield problems in boxing him, but I do think Holyfield, especially in his prime, has the speed and that dog in him to go dog Usyk and kind of get up in his grill, maybe make him uncomfortable. I do think it'll be a great fight, regardless. But that definitely is kind of the difference for me. I think Usyk he is quicker. He's just faster than a lot of these dudes. Speed kills. Um,
Mm-hmm.
especially compared to Dubois, or Joshua Fury, Chisora. Yeah, these guys are just a lot slower footed, a lot slower hand speed. Not as fluid as he is. I do think Holyfield is a guy that can match his foot speed and hand speed. Do you how do you feel about their hand speed and foot speed? How they compare to each other? I do think Usyk's got the better footwork, but as far as pure speed,
I
which one?
think I think Usyk has the speed. I
Okay.
do. I think Holyfield has a good bounce, but the angle changes are something different.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
those angle changes matter. I think that shows a lot more agility, which matters a lot in boxing.
Hmm. Um, power wise, I mean they both aren't really getting a ton of knockouts at heavyweight. They get some for sure. It's not like they have no power. It's they can't knock no one out. But these are also two incredibly tough dudes that have taken shots from all the all the big punches you could think of. So I don't see them knocking each other out necessarily. Like we was alluding to earlier, I do think it's possible Holyfield is favorited or preferred with the leverage he kind of puts in his punches.
Hmm.
Um, Usyk, is he might touch you up a little more. Holyfield might come through with a haymaker, and maybe that's what people prefer, the power over the volume. Not even that Holyfield has more power, but he throws with more. power when he does throw.
Hmm.
Uh, the big thing would be that lead foot game, that lead hand game. And as we established, Holyfield hasn't really fought a ton of southpaws, so that's going to be a huge adjustment for him. Whereas Usyk is very clearly used to it. Has he even fought a southpaw
Yeah,
before in pros?
I don't think so.
Right.
Let me double
Um,
check. I'm pretty sure not.
but I mean, there's very few big guys who are southpaws, anyways. So I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, because I think the only other one I can think of off rip is Louis Ortiz.
Yeah.
And then was
Nakamura.
Joseph Parker?
Nah.
Southpaw.
Chris Bird is also southpaw, like I said. Abragamov, southpaw.
Of course, they're not going to tell me if somebody's a southpaw, and so I'm gonna have to click every single person. Well, I
That's
mean, if we're talking heavyweight and not, I mean, Chisora's not southpaw, right? He's
right.
orthodox. And then Chaz Witherspoon is also orthodox.
Yeah.
God damn,
Um,
Witherspoon's like he's going to kill himself.
he does not have a encouraging picture.
No, he does not.
Um,
Goodness.
fuck, what was I about to say? I do think that that's something that Usyk is gonna have the advantage on for sure. Um,
Yeah.
he is a lot more clever and craftier at playing that lead hand game. He's got
Mm.
all the feints in the books. If you watch Usyk, you're gonna see a whole lot of this shit.
He
You know what I'm
did
saying?
fight. He did fight one other southpaw.
Okay, okay.
But bro was like 26 and actually he was 26 and 0 when he fought Usyk, and then he lost 8 straight matches
Was it
after.
Glowacki?
It was Glowacki.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I butchered that. My ignorant American type beat. My bad.
I think everyone
Um,
else is Orthodox. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just trying to
nah,
look.
nah,
Yeah, I
you
think he
chilling.
fought one
Give
southpaw.
me a second to gather my thoughts.
Clearly,
Um,
ruined his career after that.
um, I mentioned it in our conversation before. I don't think we really touched on it much. Um, we did touch on it briefly. Um, pause. But the low blows, Usyk,
Hmm.
the Dubois fight, we kind of went over the
Yeah,
brief controversy we did.
he
Okay,
thinks everybody low blows him.
Usyk, yes. And we did you say about the amateur thing in the episode, or was that another?
Yeah, so a discussion Ramos and I had earlier is like the amateurs are so quick to call on things to either DQ or take a point away, and the fact that Usyk spent like 14 years in the amateurs, that might be why. I mean, I don't I don't when you're a pro boxer, is that the time to cry about every single thing? No. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
get it if it's unfair and you're actually getting like hit like that all the time, but maybe you need to question where you put your cup from that point forward if you keep getting low blows. Like maybe that thing's too low. Bring it
yeah,
up.
that is like one thing that kind of bothers me about Usyk. Like I do feel like there is times where he's looking to complain, and I feel like other fighters would be like, "Yeah, that wasn't a great shot, but I'm gonna just whoop your ass." How about that? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
But Usyk, he'll take a second and be like, "Hey, man, what was that about?" Or he'll look to the
Right.
referee, kind
Come
of
on,
say,
guy. Yeah, what are we doing, guy? That
yeah, he'll give him like a little sassy look, like, "Really, dude?" You know what I'm saying?
right. Really?
um,
That's what we're doing?
but Holyfield, he does not give a single fuck and has never given a fuck about hitting you
Yeah.
low. Now, I'm not saying he does it on purpose, but he does it quite
Yeah.
often. Um, and
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to be too regretful about it. He was just like, well, it happens. Now watch me do it again. Um,
Right. Now watch me do it again. It's
um,
crazy.
So with Usyk, I definitely do see that as like for one, does Holyfield hit Usyk with a low blow and cause him to take time? I feel like that's a very real possibility.
Yeah. No, I can agree to that. I can agree to
Um,
that.
does Holyfield hit him with like a low blow slash or a borderline kind of shot, and Usyk goes to complain, and then Holyfield jumps his ass? I'm not. I don't think that'll be like the moment to get Usyk knocked out or anything. But it could be. It's like we said. Fight. Box is a game of inches. Every little bit
Yeah,
matters. I do think
that
it's
is
a
true.
possibility that could kind of swing things in Holyfield's favor.
No, I
Usyk,
agree.
Usyk doesn't really wrestle much, does he? He doesn't
No,
really.
no,
He,
that
he
man is a pure boxer. He is a boxing purist.
yeah, he doesn't really clinch. He doesn't use many wrestling tactics. He doesn't really infight like that.
Yeah. The only clinching I've ever seen, he genuinely does like and like tries to shove them off to get them out of there.
I saw him grab. I think I saw him grab like Joshua and Usyk like a couple times, but it was nothing like to agree. It's not really a part of his bag that he goes
Yeah.
too often. Holyfield
Hmm.
will absolutely grab you and hold you
Yeah,
and
he will
shove
snatch you up. Yeah.
and put his head in your face. Um,
Yeah, give you a little ball and rub. You know, I say a
he'll
little.
just straight up rub his dome all over your
Yeah,
dome.
he said, "Let me get some off the top real quick."
I didn't really like go too in depth on like Holyfield's infighting abilities, but he really is like a very skilled infighter, and that's one thing I didn't appreciate about him when I first watched him. Um, but he's constantly like when I was talking about Mike Tyson, um,
Hmm.
and Wilder, like when they're inside, they kind of don't do too much. They'll just kind of wait for a break, or in Wilder's case, he'll just throw like some awkward wide hooks.
Right.
Holyfield, he like I said, he'll push you away. He'll lean on you. He'll grab your gloves and pull them down. He'll rip body shots. Um, he's just constantly like pressing for like small little advantages on the inside, trying to find little
Mhm.
angles. Knock you off balance, lean on you. That's a
I'll
big
say,
part of. Go ahead.
oh, my fault. I'll say, I think Holyfield is a better fighter in the sense of like actually like fighting. Like if they met on the street, I think Usyk would get beat up.
Mm.
Hmm.
But you thinking like a pure like traditional boxing match, Usyk has the edge,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
like as a martial artist in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Mhm.
I don't think that's a bad take. I don't think it's a bad take. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, Holyfield probably has. Yeah, I mean, Holyfield is definitely willing to get dirty. So like in a street fight, I think that would lend itself to Holyfield for sure.
Yeah.
Um, it is possible as well. Didn't really discuss it, but Holyfield might get penalized or disqualified. Get points deducted for headbutting or low blows. He really didn't get too many throughout his career, funny enough, which is
Yeah.
hilarious considering the amount of fouls he's committed. He doesn't really get deducted points.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also back in the day, there was this mild period where like I feel like you were expected to clinch and rub your head on each other. Like that's
Yeah,
really how it felt. Like that was the go-to. Everybody wants to inside fight. You get
right.
in there, you stand in the middle, and you just rock each other. You know?
Yeah, kind of lean on each other, like put your head on their
Yeah,
shoulders
a
and
little like shoulder to shoulder, and just wow, wow, wow.
yeah,
Especially him boxing George. George loves just being mid and inside range for some reason. I mean, likes walking up to you, being about a foot away from you, and uppercutting.
yeah. Um,
So- you know what I'm saying?
thank you for reminding me. Holyfield has a weird guard. Um, he has this like sometimes he'll go like a traditional high guard, but
Hmm.
a lot of times you see he'll kind of go like Philly shell slash cross guard.
Yeah, like a little like
Yeah, he's kind of like Philly shell, but he's a lot more squared.
Yeah.
Um, he's like way less bladed than you'll see in like typical Philly shells. I do think like he can like parry some jabs reasonably well, but you also see guys who are really good at like doubling and tripling up on a jab and mixing up their lead hands. They are able to catch him with their lead hand,
Mm.
and especially because like right here, you definitely can land the right hand on that for sure. So you do see him get nailed in that sense, and then he
Hmm.
also gets nailed with uppercuts a good amount when he's on the inside and he's kind of leaning forward with his head down. You see him get nailed with uppercuts in those areas. Usyk,
Okay.
he also gets nailed with uppercuts, but it's different. He does it. He gets nailed like kind of when he steps in, like from
Yeah.
like range, and then he'll
Yeah.
get under his guard. Like he's stepping in with like a jab, and then he'll get caught up under. Um.
Mm.
So I mean, in both. Well, Usyk doesn't throw the uppercut like that, but I think Holyfield will throw it a bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but I don't know. I'm not sure if he's gonna land it that much against Usyk. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Seems
How
seems
how we feeling? Have I convinced you at all? Have I swayed you at all?
I think you're right that Holyfield is a tough man,
He is. There's one thing you
but
cannot take away from him.
I think he's going to be the smaller fighter,
He is.
and it's not going to be by a fat heavyweight or a giant heavyweight. It's going to be by a man that's built well. Let's not say built like him, because Holyfield's pretty cut. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But Usyk is an inch taller, same reach, just 10 pounds heavier, carries the weight differently. But I think you have convinced me on the punches that will hit more. So let me
Like
ask you
like the uppercut right hand type deal, or that like he'll throw more powerful, kind of more powerful
that
punches.
he that definitely the uppercut right hand. I think
Okay.
he's going to be able to hit it. Now, do you
Usyk
think he's going to be able to hit it off of Usyk cutting to the outside of the lead foot because he is a southpaw?
um are we saying he's gonna land that? Is he gonna land that right hand?
Hmm.
I mean Holyfield has good hooks as well, but I do see him going for that lead hook and Usyk rolling under it a good amount for sure. Because he is very good at that. But I do think it's possible Holyfield adjusts to that and start throwing that hook to the body.
So let me ask you this:
Okay.
Do you want to see what chat has to say about it?
Not particularly, but I'll let you cook. I'll
You'll
let you
let
cook.
me in. You'll entertain it. All right, all right.
All right.
So look,
Okay.
we got to make sure we're wary of our
Wait, do you want to
timing.
do our final predictions first?
Our what?
Our final predictions?
Yeah. Final prediction. What do you think will happen?
I'm going Holyfield, um, 114, 113.
114, 113.
Yeah, because he gets deducted a point for low blows or something.
At least you're honest. At least you're honest. Um, I'm gonna go Usyk. I think I think it's gonna be like the Fury fight. I'm gonna say 116, 113.
Okay. Okay. Do you think the fight's gonna have like a certain kind of flow to it? Like maybe like Holyfield win the first half, Usyk will take over the second half, or Holyfield gets some middle rounds, or Usyk gets some. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're gonna see Holyfield get some good chances in like the 3 to 7 round like range. Does that make sense? I think he's going to hit a few of those like hard punches that would damage Usyk, but that's when I think Usyk will take his time to adjust. And sometimes I feel like that's what gets him to lose a round or two extra is just because he's adjusting to what just hurt him. Does that make
I
sense?
definitely do see Usyk, or Holyfield, putting Usyk in some serious danger, and then, like we've seen time and time again, Usyk kinda coming back, getting that second win, adjusting, and coming out looking a lot fresher.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, man, I don't think you got a crazy, prediction, but I guess we'll see what this
What chat
weekend
got to say?
yeah.
Oh, so what was the range that you said was like prime heavyweight Evander Holyfield?
1990 to 1992.
1992. Okay. Let's try to phrase it this way. How did we phrase it the last time? Let me see if I can find that. Wow, the things you'll see on this side of this. Okay, I'm not seeing the one from a bit ago. Did I possibly? Nah, we'll just you chat. Okay, let's see.
I honestly don't remember what you typed in last time. I don't even know. I don't think I saw it, to be honest. I'm gonna let you cook. I'm trying to think about anything else for the fight. Um, I mean Usyk. I guess we can talk about Usyk's guard. He like I said, he kind of has that high guard a good amount. Do you think that he kind of switches between the high guard and the long guard for the most part? You say that's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, kind of like we said, like I do think it kind of leaves him prone to those body shots. Holyfield doesn't really throw straight body shots. We'll say that Usyk does. I think he definitely has more of a body jab, whereas Holyfield will throw hooks to the body. Um, Usyk certainly has the advantage at long range, just because of the footwork,
Mm-hmm.
his ability to feint, play the lead hand.
You said
Mm,
1990 to 92, right?
yes, you back at it.
About to.
Okay, 12 rounds.
Yeah, in a 12 fight, it's trying to tell me to correct everything.
Right. What the ChatGPT be tripping. Also, I'm like Holyfield's, you know, his wrestling, his smothering, his infighting, does that limit is he able to use that to kinda limit Usyk's punch output?
That is something to be noted. I think it could be possible.
I mean, that's something he's tactics he's used before.
Mhm.
Um, it also
Do
could
you
potentially just go ahead.
do you think well, go ahead before I press enter. That way
Nah, I
finish
lost
it.
it. You just go ahead.
My fault. I'm an asshole.
Nah, you see I would've lost it anyways. Don't piss me off, though. But I'm open, you know what I'm saying? Not the low
Okay,
blow
just
picture.
right. All right, so it's giving us some details. So elite southpaw footwork, ring IQ. We did discuss
Right.
this. High punch accuracy, pace, stamina, late round dominance, defensive movement over raw power. Okay.
Fairly accurate, yeah.
Yeah. Relentless pressure and elite inside fighting. Noted. Exceptional chin and heart. All right. High punch volume with combination burst. Okay.
Right.
Physical strength. We'll see how this goes. Usyk advantages, footwork, angle creation, southpaw difficulty, tactical adjustments, inside fighting, physicality, combination punching and exchanges, win dog fights.
That's
All
fair. I
right.
mean,
So
you could.
this is kind of what we said right here,
I was about to say
right?
it's like they were just copying our off
Our
our test,
conversation. Yeah.
but change it around a little bit so the teacher don't notice.
Right. You ready for the reveal?
Let's do it. Don't piss me off though.
All right. Rounds 1 through 3. Tactical opening. Starts fast, circling, right? Oh, it's giving us like what happened in the fight. Like we're getting live updates.
Okay.
ESPN. Holyfield increases pressure, landing body shots inside. Usyk still cleaner overall. First strong Holyfield round, he traps Usyk briefly and lands combinations to head and body. We're 10-9 Holyfield. We got a round Holyfield.
Right.
All right.
This
Okay, let's
this
see.
seems reasonable to me.
Right. Rounds 4 through 6. Holyfield's engine ramps up. He pushes inside repeatedly, landing hooks and short uppercuts.
He does what?
10-9 Holyfield. He ramps up, pushes inside repeatedly, landing hooks and short uppercuts, which you did mention. Let that
Say
be
that one more
noted.
time.
Holyfield. What do you need me to repeat it, you bastard?
My bad. My bad. All
Yeah,
right.
hey, bro. No, bro. Pause. Pause.
I'm gonna be mature now, but
Yeah, thank you.
be mature
Round
now.
5. I can't believe you asked me to repeat that, you monster. The round 5, close round. Usyk adjusts by pivoting earlier and landing counters. 10-9 Usyk. Round 6, warlike exchanges. Holyfield lands heavier shots. Usyk lands more frequently. Judges likely favor Holyfield's power.
These
All
niggas are
right.
straight copying our answers. This is hilarious.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Usyk adjustment window. Yep, it is. It's maybe we're just that good. Maybe we're just that good. This is historically where Usyk separates from opponents, increases tempo, sharp three-punch combos, frustrates Holyfield. 10-9 Usyk. Usyk's conditioning advantage appears. Holyfield still dangerous, lightly slower, closing distance. Usyk. One of Usyk's best rounds, accurate counters and ring control. 10-9 Usyk.
Get up 3.
Yeah, 10-12. Championship rounds.
Damn.
Holyfield rallies with aggression, landing big hooks inside, very close. 10-9 Holy. High level chess match. Usyk's movement keeps him safer while scoring consistently. 10-9 Usyk. Both fighters push hard. Holyfield presses. Usyk stays disciplined and lands cleaner shots down the stretch. 10-9 Usyk. Final score prediction 116 to 112, 115 113, 116 112. And there you go.
Okay.
That is bar for bar what we said.
Like dead ass. Like I'm not sure they said a single thing that we that
Yeah,
we
we didn't mention that was
I mean maybe the cardio. I feel like maybe that's something we didn't touch on as much. I do think Usyk had better cardio at heavyweight. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
I
So do
do
you
think it
think that's what would influence success in the fight?
yeah, the biggest questions for me would be Holyfield's heavyweight cardio and can he actually
Usage chin.
handle a southpaw, a crafty southpaw with great
Yeah.
footwork. Um but also, like we said, I mean, can Usyk handle Holyfield's pressure, his combinations, his body punches as well, his inside fighting? I mean, it did say that it could be a close fight, which is what I would expect.
So
You said you
it
can
does say
simulate. Go ahead.
go ahead. It does say there's an alternate like outcome where Holyfield either cuts off the ring, turns the fight into a sustained inside battle, And it could be a win by split decision or TKO.
I mean,
TKO is interesting, but
yeah, I mean, TKO might be a stretch against Usyk. Not that it's impossible to knock him out, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. I do also question, like, I think Holyfield can get him on the inside, but can he, like, keep him there for most of the
yeah,
fight? I don't think I'm not sure Usyk would just let that happen.
right.
Um,
I
but
agree.
hey, man, ChatGPT spoke. Maybe we can get some opinions from our audience of my mom.
Right.
Dad.
Oh, we did get a comment on our YouTube video.
So you are on
I will
YouTube.
I am on, not right now, but our first video that we had.
I didn't see it on your channel.
It is on videos. Why isn't it posted? Wait a
So
second. Wait a second. It was literally just there. I literally answered a comment that was on it.
wow.
Hold on. Do. View channel videos. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm literally look. Hold on. I'll show you. This is us, is it not?
Oh, that's definitely
But
us.
it's on the phone, not on the.
Oh, okay. It's weird. Um,
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the comment that we got. Maybe it got blocked because of copyright or something. I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. Um, but this was 3 weeks ago. This guy commented, so it was up for at least 2 weeks.
okay.
Um, says both fighters are very exciting and powerful punchers, but they are also well managed by their managers. Connection could be Povetkin if he fought Wilder, because Atlas trained him and Tyson. Also, both worked with Shelley Finkel. In his opinion, Tyson would win quite easily, although he is also overrated. And then he
Hmm.
said, "Good luck with the podcast."
Wow. Thanks for that comment, whoever that guy was. It was actually a lot
Right.
more insightful than I thought it would be.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I thought it was going to be hate when I first read it. I went, "Here's our first comment." I was like, "Is it going to be hate?"
Shit, but
Right. Right.
but no,
But
that's
yeah, he doesn't really have like a good like name. It's like Philip H2T or HT2WD. So
he didn't mean
Philip,
that to
if you're watching,
you know.
by the way, not Philip with a PH, Philip with a F. So
Oh, okay. That's unique.
Philippe,
We rocking with Philip, cause
yeah,
Philip
we
rocking.
rocking with Philip. Exactly, he rocking with us. Exactly.
Um, so yeah, man. I guess Usyk pulls it out today. Um, as far as the all-time rankings, do do we also think Usyk beats him in that category as well?
Um, that's tough.
That's
That's
very tough.
tough. Only because the pro career. I mean, we may have to adjust it in 3 years. When we see some more
Right.
Usyk fights. But as of now, I'm not sure because Holyfield did have, even though it didn't turn out well for him, he ended up with a huge decorated career.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got a lot more question marks on Holyfield's career for sure. You got a ton of very close decisions. You got a lot of controversies. He was in a ton of wars, a lot of slugfests. Especially
Hmm.
compared to Usyk, who is a lot more likely to kind of cleanly outbox guys. But I
Yeah.
mean, Holyfield does have like twice the amount of fights. He does have several more years of fighting at like
Hmm.
a world title level. Um, if you, as far as like level of competition goes, I mean, I maybe if you go like win for win, Usyk might actually be better. But I think
Hmm.
Holyfield, in general, has more quality fighters on his resume.
Yep. I think We pop Holyfield in third and Usyk in fourth. Wait, Holyfield in second, Usyk in third, Wilder, you know, wherever we threw him.
We. So you don't think Usyk or Holyfield is ahead of Mike?
I don't.
You don't?
Prime? Prime? Prime time?
Oh. Well, to be fair, you're right. You did say prime, but I kind of do more like career. Think more like
Oh,
career.
oh yeah. That is
But if
fair.
you going if you
Okay,
going
so wait,
prime,
our list. That's on me. So our list, are we doing it off of career or prime? Because at first I did say career and then I switched to prime, but our whole discussion's been off of prime,
um,
like as
well, I
far as
mean,
face off.
yeah, I feel like for face off, prime makes more sense, but career, like I don't know for career or not for career for the rankings. I prefer to do the career because I feel like when we start talking about primes, like I feel like it's too easy to just be like, yeah, take their best fight. You're never beating that guy. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Well, why don't we do two lists? Why don't we do career list and then do for a future seeded tournament list for pound greatest?
Okay. Okay.
Because
Um.
we might piss some people off. Because I mean, I love Mike, but we might find a heavyweight that we're like, I don't know, you might clean that man a bit. Well,
Um.
prime Mike, but still, prime Mike.
Um.
Bro went from 18-year-old to heavyweight champion of the world in a year and a half.
Then look at me, 24, still afraid to talk to some girl in the cafeteria. But anyways, um,
Well, Mike also looks like a grown man at 13, so
yeah.
that dude's got
Same
the
thing with
fucking
Holyfield.
testosterone of a bull.
This man Holyfield was like 26 and balding.
Yeah,
Um, but anyways, career. So you want to do career wise and then kind of
yeah.
work
Career
to
wise, I'm gonna
next
say
time.
Holyfield over Usyk.
You go Holyfield over Usyk. Okay. Is there any of their opponents that we want to throw in this list?
Any of their opponents we want to throw on this list?
Do we want to put Chisora in there?
No.
No.
We could throw Fury up there.
I mean, like journeyman and stuff that I was talking about.
No.
Damn, bro, I can't believe I forgot to mention it.
What?
Holyfield fought Franz Botha.
How'd it
He
go?
fought he fought Franz Botha in 2010 and won by 8th round TKO.
What round did Mike beat Franz? Was that it was fourth,
5.
right?
It's 5.
Five. Yeah. That's the champ. They don't just call him Iron Mike. They're like, "What's up, champ?" He's the champ, the man with the plan, the Iron Hands.
Is that your impression?
No, that was just my voice, you
Oh,
bastard.
my fault, man. I thought you were doing the list thing. But yeah, man. That I think we did it. We got so now we
We
got
did.
wait. We didn't agree on Usyk's placement. Is he above or behind Mike? Career.
Oh, behind Mike Usyk, behind Mike Tyson. Career?
Career, yeah.
I mean, heavyweight career. That man's only got 8 fights.
But consider okay, that's fair. If we're going on heavyweight career, then we could do that. All right. So we got Holyfield, Mike, Usyk, Wilder, Andy Ruiz, and Franz Botha is our current list.
Shout out to
Well,
both of them.
gotta hit all the all time greats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
man,
there it is.
we finally fucking did it. After
We finally did. We here. Hey, and just to let you know, timing wise, we're actually the exact same timing.
As last
So
time?
we cut zero time off. Now the first 40 minutes was us trying to get our shit together, but so
The other
maybe
one
next time. The other one was just straight we started and then derailed 15 times. So this one, if we subtract the 40 fuck off, we're actually 40 minutes under.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like it was a success. We did our thing.
Yeah, it was you know what? It's a success that we did a part two. Some people don't make it that far.
Right. Hey
We're
man,
here.
I appreciate you. It was good talking with you. Yeah, I
It
think
was
we
good
got a
talking to
lot
you,
to do.
Ramos. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
man.
did. We did.
But yeah, I hope you have
Go
a
ahead.
good one.
I hope you have a good night. Peace out to anybody that ends up watching this.
You
There's my
appreciate
girlfriend. She's gonna giggle. All right. Have a
you.
good
All right.
night, Ramos.
You as well, my man. Not gonna do it, you bastard.
I did.